The movie opens with a long take. The funeral parlor owner, Bonacera, is facing a dilemma. Two thugs, failing to rape his daughter, brutally beat her, leaving her nearly disfigured. However, the court failed to give these thugs the punishment they deserved. Bonacera specifically seeks the help of Don Vito Corleone to get justice, promising to pay for his services. Don Corleone, hearing his old friend talk only about money, refuses his request, repeatedly hinting that what he desires is not money but a favor. Bonacera plays dumb because, as a legitimate businessman, he doesn't want to get too close to the Mafia. But his daughter's plight makes him realize that trusting American law and the police has not given him the justice he deserved. Finally, Bonacera accepts reality and calls Don Corleone Godfather. Don Corleone instructs his consigliere and lawyer Tom Hagen to arrange for Clemenza to handle the matter. Don Vito Corleone is the head of the Corleone family, one of New York's 5 families. Today is the wedding day of Don Corleone's daughter, Connie. While taking family photos, Don Corleone notices that his youngest son, Michael, is not present and delays the photo, stating he won't take it without Michael. The family disperses to greet the guests. Don Corleone and his eldest son, Sonny, welcome an important figure, Don Barzini, another head of the 5 families. The dancing fat man is Clemenza, one of Don Corleone's 2 trusted lieutenants. The other is Tessio, who is seen playing with an orange. A photographer takes a picture of the guests, causing Barzini to become anxious. He orders his men to seize the film and destroy it. Sonny spots some federal agents at the door, taking down license plate numbers. He angrily spits and smashes the camera of a blocking photographer, revealing his violent temper. After dealing with business, Don Corleone sees from a window that his youngest son Michael has arrived at the wedding. Michael, a war veteran, is in a passionate relationship with his girlfriend Kay, a pure American girl. Kay notices a burly man muttering to himself, which seems odd to her. This man is Luca Brasi, who frequently does jobs for the Corleone family. He is rehearsing his speech for meeting Don Corleone, showing his deep respect and the ceremonial importance he places on the encounter. Don Corleone reciprocates this respect. Meanwhile, Sonny sneaks away amidst the busy wedding to a room with a woman, where they explore some biological mysteries. At this moment, there's a burst of cheering outside as a group of girls surrounds a man making his entrance. This man is Johnny, a Hollywood star and the godson of Vito Corleone. Michael briefly explains Johnny's rise to fame, noting that it was his father, Vito Corleone, who used his influence and muscle to pave Johnny's way to stardom. Kay finds this hard to believe, and Michael clarifies that it's his family, not him. Johnny isn't just here for the wedding. He also wants to star in a movie as the lead actor. However, the movie studio head won't let him. So, he has come to ask Vito Corleone for help. Vito agrees and promises to offer the studio head a deal he can't refuse. Next, consigliere Tom Hagen heads to California to meet the studio head, Woltz. At first, Woltz is arrogant and dismissive, but when he learns that Tom represents Vito Corleone, he begrudgingly gives Tom some attention. He even invites Tom to his mansion, showing off his wealth and his prized $600,000 horse, implying that he cannot be bought. Realizing soft persuasion won't work, Tom leaves the mansion. The next morning, Woltz wakes up to find his bed soaked in blood and the severed head of his prized horse beside him. Woltz is terrified. The fact that someone could kill his beloved horse and place its head in his bed without anyone noticing indicates that they could easily take his life too. This is an offer Woltz cannot refuse. Meanwhile, a Turkish drug dealer named Solozzo wants to run his narcotics business in New York. To secure protection, he has allied with the Tattaglia family, one of the 5 families. However, the Corleone family is crucial because of their political connections and resources. Solozzo seeks their cooperation. Vito Corleone politely declines, believing that the drug business is too immoral. Sonny, seeing the potential profits, speaks up in favor of the deal. Vito cuts him off, reprimanding him for his lack of judgment, and firmly rejects Solozzo's offer. Solozzo, noticing Sonny's interest, sees a potential weakness. The old Don is unwilling to cooperate, but his heir Sonny is very interested. The seasoned Vito Corleone senses danger from this meeting and scolds Sonny for revealing his thoughts to outsiders. He then calls in Luca Brasi, instructing him to pretend to be unhappy with the Corleone family and infiltrate the Tattaglia family to gather information. Unfortunately, Solozzo sees through this ruse, and with the help of Bruno from the Tattaglia family, they strangle Luca and kidnap Tom Hagen. One day, Vito Corleone is driven by his second son, Frito. While While buying fruit, Vito is ambushed and shot multiple times. Fredo, too scared to handle his gun properly, collapses and cries beside his fallen father. Sonny, upon hearing the news, is furious and immediately suspects Polly of feigning illness and betraying their father. Knowing Sonny's temper, Sollozzo fears an irrational reaction that would be bad for all parties. He tries to negotiate with Tom Hagen, hoping to convince Sonny to accept the drug business, arguing that with the Don supposedly dead, it's time to face reality and do business. Michael, while out shopping with Kay, sees the news of his father's assassination attempt. He quickly calls to confirm and learns that his father is alive but severely injured. Michael rushes to the family meeting to discuss their next steps. A package arrives. Luca's bulletproof vest wrapped around 2 dead fish. This Sicilian message means Luca sleeps with the fishes, indicating Sollozzo has killed him. Under Sonny's orders, Clemenza takes another associate and pretends to need Polly to drive them to a safe location. The 3 laugh and chat in the car until they reach a desolate area. Clemenza steps out to relieve himself, and the associate in the back seat shoots Polly. Michael, realizing his family is in danger, decides to temporarily part ways with Kay and visits the hospital to see his father. He finds the hospital unguarded and learns from a nurse that the guards were sent away by the local police captain for causing a disturbance. Michael senses another assassination attempt on his father and urgently calls Sonny. He and the nurse move Vito's bed to a safer location. At this moment, a man carrying flowers arrives. Michael recognizes him as the son-in-law of his father's friend, and together they guard the hospital entrance. A car arrives filled with men. Michael and the man pretend to be armed, making a motion as if reaching for guns. The men, intimidated, drive away. Shortly after, the police captain arrives with his officers. Michael realizes the captain is colluding with Sollozzo and asks how much he was paid. The captain punches Michael. Tom Hagen arrives with reinforcements. Seeing that it's not the right time to kill Vito, the police captain leaves. Sonny, upon learning what happened, orders Tessio to kill Bruno, the eldest son of the Tattaglia family. Sollozzo then proposes a meeting with Michael, promising an offer he can't refuse. Sonny doesn't want to negotiate. He only wants to avenge his father by killing Sollozzo. Consigliere Tom Hagen thinks Sonny is too emotional. He advises that they should at least hear what Sollozzo has to offer, especially since Sollozzo is now protected by the police captain. With police protection, no one can touch Sollozzo. Moreover, in New York, no one has ever dared to kill a cop. If they did, the other families would unite against the Corleones, and even their political allies would abandon them. Michael, however, insists that Sollozzo must be killed. He argues that Sollozzo's business hinges on Vito Corleone being out of the picture. If Vito lives, Sollozzo will keep trying to assassinate him. As for the police captain, Michael points out that he is involved in drug trafficking and can be exposed through the Corleone-controlled newspapers. This story would interest many people. Michael volunteers to kill Sollozzo and the police captain during the negotiation. Sonny laughs, thinking Michael is too emotional, but Michael insists it's strictly business. Clemenza then teaches Michael how to use a gun properly. Sonny, through his contacts, finds out the meeting location, and they plan the assassination based on Michael's proposal. During the meeting, Michael, appearing distracted, excuses himself to the restroom, retrieves the hidden gun, and upon returning, nervously listens to Sollozzo's talk. Suddenly, Michael stands up and shoots both Sollozzo and the police captain, then leaves the restaurant. This assassination sparks a massive gang war among the crime families. The police intensify their crackdown on organized crime, weakening the 5 families' operations. Vito Corleone, recovering from his wounds, is brought home to recuperate. His first question is about Michael's whereabouts. Michael has been sent to Sicily for safety, under the protection of a man named Tomasino. During an outing to find the Corleone village, Michael meets a beautiful girl named Apollonia. He uses his connections to court her, eventually winning her heart. They get married in a simple yet beautiful ceremony. Meanwhile, Sonny with his mistress is interrupted when he learns that his sister Connie is being abused by her husband Carlo. Furious, Sonny finds Carlo and beats him, warning him never to touch Connie again. However, Carlo soon forgets the lesson and beats the pregnant Connie again. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Sonny drives off alone to confront Carlo. However, at a toll booth, he is ambushed and killed by a hail of gunfire. Upon hearing of Sonny's death, the old Don decides to put an end to the endless cycle of vengeance and save the Corleone family. He instructs Tom Hagen to arrange a meeting with the heads of the other families to settle matters. To spare his wife from seeing their son's mutilated body, he also asks Bonacera, the funeral parlor owner, to prepare Sonny's body properly. In Sicily, Michael and his new wife, Apollonia, live an idyllic life. Michael teaches her how to drive and some basic English. However, upon learning about the events in New York, Michael senses danger and follows Tomasino's advice to move and plans to send his wife back to her family. One day, Apollonia, eager to surprise Michael, decides to drive for him. Michael notices something odd about one of his bodyguards, Fabrizio. Suddenly, the car explodes, killing Apollonia instantly. Fabrizio, intending to kill Michael, had planted the bomb, but by tragic mistake, it killed Apollonia instead. Barzini, acting as a mediator, gathers the mob bosses for a sit-down with Vito Corleone. Barzini argues that the drug business is viable, and that with Vito's political resources, they can achieve anything. Vito, though still believing that the drug business will ultimately destroy them all, agrees to provide legal and political protection to maintain peace and stop the vendettas. However, he insists that his son Michael must safely return to the US. If any harm befalls Michael, he will hold everyone responsible, breaking the truce. Besides this condition, he promises not to break the agreement. Vito also reconciles with the Tattaglia family. On the way back, Vito realizes that Barzini, not the Tattaglia family, was behind Sonny's murder. The meeting revealed Barzini's eagerness to take over the drug business, exposing his true intentions. Michael returns to New York and reunites with Kay. Although he has been back for over a year, he only now seeks her out because he has been handling his father's affairs and working to legitimize the family's business. Kay is shocked to hear that Michael has been working for his father, as he had once promised never to become like him. Michael defends his father, comparing him to powerful figures like senators or presidents who have responsibilities to others. Kay dismisses this, pointing out that senators and presidents don't kill people. Michael stops, looks at Kay, and asks who is truly being naive. During the period of peace with the other families, Michael takes control of the family business and decides to move its center to Nevada. He also brings Connie's husband Carlo into the family business. Michael relieves Tom Hagen of his consigliere duties, claiming he isn't suited for the ongoing conflict, and assigns him to handle legal matters only. Clemenza and Tessio wish to establish their own operations because Barzini has been expanding his influence. Michael agrees, but only after they move to Nevada in 6 months. Vito Corleone's second son, Fredo, was sent to work in Las Vegas after the gang wars. Michael's first task in Las Vegas is to have Fredo arrange a meeting with Mo Green to buy out his hotel and casino shares, promising an offer Mo can't refuse. However, Mo declines, believing the Corleone family was driven out of New York by Barzini, with whom he has already partnered. Michael feels disrespected when Mo publicly orders Fredo around. Fredo tries to mediate, but Mo angrily leaves. Fredo criticizes Michael for his actions, but Michael warns Fredo not to side with outsiders against the family. The old Don Vito repeatedly advises Michael to be cautious, warning him that if Barzini wants to harm him, he will use a trusted person to set up a meeting. Vito emphasizes that while women and children can afford to be careless, men cannot. He concludes with a final piece of advice. The person who arranges the meeting with Barzini is the traitor. One sunny day, Vito plays with his grandson, putting an orange peel in his mouth to amuse him. While chasing each other, Vito collapses and dies. The era of Don Vito Corleone ends. At the funeral, Michael closely observes everyone who comes to pay their respects. Tessio approaches Michael, saying that Barzini wants a meeting to resolve family issues and that he will ensure Michael's safety. Michael now realizes Tessio is the traitor and agrees to the meeting outwardly, but plans to settle all scores. Michael agrees to be the godfather to Connie's child. During the baptism, a meticulously planned revenge unfolds.
Michael Francis Rizzi, do you renounce Satan?
I do renounce him.
And all his works? And all his palms?
I do renounce them.
Michael Rizzi, will you be baptized?
I will.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Michael Rizzi, go in peace, and may the Lord be with you. Amen.
Tom Hagen and his men deal with the traitor Tessio in the car. After the baptism, Michael keeps Carlo behind for a talk, sending the Restov family away. Michael has suspected Carlo all along, believing that Carlo was manipulated by Barzini to fight with Connie, luring Sonny out to be ambushed. Carlo admits the truth, confirming Barzini's role. Michael momentarily pauses before having Carlo taken away and strangled in a car. Connie, upon learning of Carlo's death, confronts Michael, accusing him of the murder. Michael, unmoved, has her taken away to see a doctor. Kay, witnessing this, asks Michael if it's true. Michael insists they don't discuss business, but Kay persists. Finally, Michael, frustrated, calms down and tells Kay to ask again. She does, and he denies it. Relieved, Kay embraces him and goes to pour him a drink. At that moment, Clemenza and others finish their business and kiss Michael's hand in respect. The new Godfather is born, and the door closes slowly between Michael and Kay.